I want to say this about Nicki Minaj, though. Fuck with her. Let me stop saying that. Because you know the issues between me and Nicki before. I've been at war with the bars for like so many like years, this and third. Yo, you know how sickening and how nasty it is that Nicki like in a sort of way still like encourages bad behavior of her audience. That's why when she complains about industry supporting her, I don't really say nothing about it. Yo, that's nasty, bro. Like when you like indirectly support nasty behavior. Let me just give you an example, right? Remember that girl who was talking a lot of shit, right? Her name is Wheezy, what the fuck, or whatever the hell her name is, right? She was like, "Oh, yo, Ak, you're only talking about like the Stooges because of whatever, whatever, right?" Like, this was unprovoked. Truth be told, I should just bomb on her, right? You know, they came back to me and they said, "Yo, Shorty is contemplating suicide." Okay, like that's what they told me. I'm like, "Oh my god, this is this is the difference between me and Nikki. I never want to weaponize. And by the way, it wasn't really because of what I said, because y'all are in her mentions, right? Bro, I'm not gonna be here and like liking y'all post while y'all are still bullying her or saying whatever. I don't know what y'all was even saying to her. Nigga, that just seems like foul to me. You get me? You know what I did? Bro, when someone told me that, bro, like I never told y'all to go bully her. I didn't tell y'all to go tell her to do whatever. But like she felt that energy, right? And she's depressed, or she was like fucking whatever she was, right? The person told me that's not her, obviously. And I say, you know what? I'm gonna just let my audience know, yo, please don't do that. Like that's not cool. I don't support that. Because truth be told, if she kills herself, bro, I don't want to be on the hook for that. Be like, oh, I had her audience. No, I don't want to be on the hook for that, right? And I just think that when you have an audience that really fucks with you and they kind of really support you, you're always gonna get people who want to go the extreme. And when it comes to Nicki Minaj, yo, Nicki Minaj knows exactly what her audience is done. And her audience is gonna be denied this to the end. This is why they're sick. This is why I had to clown them when they were standing outside the CDC. Nicki Minaj, in a way, almost kind of gives y'all a nod that she approves. And of course, y'all will, like this, her fan base is so crazy, they'll jump on the sword for her. But in reality, I really know what it is. You know what I mean? She wants y'all to harass these women who are talking about her in the media. She starts liking posts. Like, so you know what that audience does? They wild out even more. Nikki's not getting on there talking about, yo, hey, if you a Barbie and you fuck with me, please stop harassing other black women. Please stop telling women to, kill themselves or stop wishing, rape and other really nasty stuff on women. Nikki's not doing that. Nikki just kind of chills back because you know why? She realized her audience is big enough. She could get away with anything. That's sick. That's taking and misusing the loyalty of an audience who really wants your attention a lot of times. Misusing that and weaponizing that. I hate when she did that. Nikki's one of the people why everybody's numbers were leaked. Cardi B, mine, most of these other people, numbers are leaked. Nikki saw that shit. She never ever came out and said, if you're a fan of mine, bro, they could leak my number too. Please don't do it. The only time she ever scolded her audience, they found her number and they started leaking it within certain cells of like the little Nicki fan base, and then she felt a certain way. But she don't give a fuck about other people. That's sick to me. That's sick. And I don't blame her for her husband being a pedophile or whatever the fuck it is. But I do kind of blame Nikki for kind of egging on and kind of encouraging these motherfuckers to keep bullying people. And like, even when I hear, even whether this woman's telling the truth or she's really a victim or not, the woman that her husband allegedly raped, I used to say Nikki has no involvement with that. You can't pick who you love. But if Nikki is pretty much like encouraging by subtle on a subtle level, liking tweets that her fan base should go bully some chick and whatever, like that's some sick shit. Nikki does that shit. That's really like I can't support that type of shit. But Nikki does that. And by the way, Nikki 38. She's still doing that bullshit. That's weird. I'm gonna be honest with you. The barbers who doing it, they're like 38, 40, 50. They're weird too. Like I be watching Nikki just kind of like she told me, oh, she's off Twitter. She's not off Twitter, my nigga. Nigga, Twitter's where she rallies up her whole like army of stands. She's still liking tweets. Yo, they put you in Twitter jail because they don't fuck with you like that. Jack don't give a fuck about what you got going on. You said you won't be back on there, but you're on there liking tweets because you need to send your army against everybody. That's weak shit to me. If you are a fucking legend in this game, and at the bare bones, the only thing you have to really showcase your power is to weaponizing fans, that's some weak, weird shit to me. Nicki does that still. It's kind of weird. It's kind of weird. It's kind of weird you don't check your fans when they're wilding out. It's kind of weird when they're harassing other women, whether the people who are getting at you. By the way, let me bring my situation back to it. Like that little Wheezy, whatever her name is, she was completely fucking wrong. All the way wrong, out of pocket. But it's a point where it's too far. I don't want y'all to bully her that she commits suicide. That's not the case. Nicki Minaj is still egging this. You 38, shorty. Like, what you doing? You got a whole kid. Like, what you doing? That shit look weird. You the only one I really see that do that shit. Nicki Minaj, like, subtween, like, what shorty's name? I'm not even that big fan of shorty anyway. What's her name again? What's that girl name? The one who said Tori shot her. Meg Stallion. Like, bro, like, yo, you grown, bro. You gotta cut that shit out. I be looking at Nicki like, yo, Nicki, you gotta stop this shit, man. You gotta really stop this shit. Like, Nicki, your legacy ain't never gonna be the Barbs. Your legacy is gonna be of somebody who's a bitter, nasty person. Just because you think the Barbs could do your dirty work right now, that's not gonna be a legacy. When it's all written and done, it's not gonna be like, oh, well, Nicki, like, the Barbs is what made it. Like, yo, Michael Jackson had one of the most loyal fan bases ever. He wasn't weaponizing it. Nicki gotta cut this shit out, man. That shit is like really sad. It's sick. Again, I be agreeing with her sometimes. I kind of agree with her being able to express her opinion with this whole little, a vaccination shit. But then when I seen that she back to the nasty shit, that's not cool. That shit like, yo, only the drones that's your audience that fuck with that. Like, you a nasty person for that, bro. Like, you over here low key liking tweets and people having comments wishing death, rape, murder on people that disagree with you. That shit's weird, if you ask me. But again, I think Nicki one of the people who really like celebrityhood. She really thinks Trump's everything. And by the way, I think her audience does that too. And I can understand why she feels that way. She said some shit about vaccination, and like 20 lost souls showed up in front of CDC campaigning. I only say that to say, man, Nicki Minaj still weaponizing her fan base at like 40, man. That shit's sick.